Monday, June 12th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here with you. Yesterday, it was not as muggy, especially as we got toward the afternoon hours. Highs were in the 80s in many spots. It was a little warmer down toward Columbia at 91. 74 the high in Boone yesterday, 82 in Asheville. Right now, a lot of 60s on the board through the mountains, the foothills, most of the Piedmont. A couple of 70-degree readings mixed in, but mainly 60s this morning. And our dew point temperature is not as high as what we had prior to that front moving through early yesterday. Lots of low and mid-60s dew points across North Carolina. It does get muggier in the Outer Banks down through the coast and into much of South Carolina this morning. Radar at the moment is quiet. Now, yesterday we had some thunderstorms down around Charleston. That's where you had a cluster of some storm reports. Outside of that, not a whole lot of severe weather issues yesterday. And again, right now, the radar is quiet. Now, some of the short-range modeling is insisting that there'll be some thunderstorms fire up in this area this morning and then drop to the south. Thus far, no indications of that happening. We'll keep an eye on it. If that were to occur, it really put a kink in the forecast for today. It would affect high temperatures, and of course, it would also obviously have a big role in our rain chance today. But as it stands now, I'm kind of downplaying that scenario, but it is something we'll watch. Now, a lot of storms up in the upper Midwest and northern plain states, and it's going to be probably a significant severe weather day. Check out today's severe weather outlook. That is a moderate risk for places such as Chicago down to near Indianapolis, and a big slight risk surrounding that extends down into Kentucky and the Virginias. And that storm system sliding our way. Now, we're still a good bit ahead of it today, so as mentioned, I'm going to go with a mainly dry forecast. Now, you notice the RPM modeling printing out just a few isolated afternoon storms. That is a possibility, so I do think we have to mention at least a limited chance of a few thunderstorms today. And we'll see if that big complex develops this morning, but again, at the moment, I'm kind of leaning away from that scenario. However, tomorrow, it does look like a good round of thunderstorms will indeed move through the region with that front. And the severe weather potential pretty elevated tomorrow. There's the day 2 severe weather outlook, a big slight risk from central Mississippi up the eastern seaboard. That's a moderate risk once you get up to the mid-Atlantic region, the Delmarva Peninsula, New Jersey, the eastern parts of Virginia. More on that in just a second. Here's a look at the RPM rain totals here as we move forward, and it'll be the classic deal where some folks will see more rain than others, but at the moment, a lot of the Piedmont getting between a half and 1 inch of rain on the latest run of the RPM. Now, following this system, we get some really nice air. Check out the dew point temperatures here. Yeah, we're going to have some very warm dew points, very muggy dew points just ahead of that system. That's one of the reasons we have this severe weather threat. But then watch what happens to our dew points by Friday. There they go. Well down into the 50s, even down into Atlanta, Tupelo, Nashville in the 50s for dew points. And that's going to be a really nice feeling air mass for Friday, and it'll largely hang on into Saturday too. But here's the deal. Your disturbance up here in the upper Midwest, this is the European model this afternoon. They go up to 48 hours, and there it goes, diving into the eastern seaboard. 48-hour chart on the surface. There's your low pressure over Maryland. The GFS, very similar with the placement of that low pressure. And so that's a scenario where, okay, first of all, there will probably be a little bit of a mountain shadow in terms of at least rain totals just to the east of the mountains. But I do think the potential is pretty good for some severe weather. Anywhere from parts of the Carolinas up into the mid-Atlantic region, and probably the farther north you go, the higher the severe weather threat will be. Today's outlook, again, there is your day 1 outlook, and these are some pretty high probabilities. There's your tornado probabilities. That is a 10% hatched area, including Chicago. And look at these wind probabilities, sky high in the Midwest. Now we go to tomorrow, and again, there's your day 2 outlook, and here are the probabilities. Again, that's significant, especially northeast North Carolina northward. So definitely something we will keep a close watch on as we get toward tomorrow afternoon. All right, that is it for today. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful Wednesday, and God bless.